Well, good afternoon, everybody, here on this Saturday. It is baseball time in East Texas, and Brett, you're with me here today, and welcome. Glad you're with me again today after a big night last night as we were in Lindale.
It's been a busy week, Keith.
It has been a busy week, and also on my right here, I got my other one, Claire, my daughter. She's helping us out. She's on her phone,
yeah.
as 17-year-old teenagers do. But she's helping us out today. She's going to be doing our scoreboard. But we're glad you're with us today for a big game. This is a seed game here, Brett?
Seeding game. So basically what happened was, and if you watched our broadcast last night, if you missed it, you just missed out.
Right.
But we talked about this in the broadcast last night. Brownsboro and Van and Lindale had kind of all been battling out for the top. Well, Lindale took the district championship, and so they beat Van twice, gave them 3 losses. Well, Brownsboro and Van also split. But surprisingly enough, Chapel Hill made the playoffs with a big win last night over Brownsboro. So that put Brownsboro and Van tied. And so now this is what we're playing for today. And it's a big game. I've talked to Coach Haltom last night, and he said you don't want to be the 3 seed. You have to play Liberty Ilo.
Yeah, you don't want to be the 3 seed because the 3 and 4 seed are going to play the higher seeds in the other two or in the other districts in the league. So you want to be the 1 and 2. You play the lower seeds in the other districts in the area, and it's a little bit, quote unquote, easier, I guess you could say, to do that. But right now, big game here to find out where these two teams are going to be in the playoffs. Now, that's the thing to talk about. They're in the playoffs. This is not a 1 and out. If they're in, if they're out.
It's not a play-in game.
Yeah. So let's not count this out. Both of these teams are good teams, and they are in the playoffs. So that's not a question here. The question here is, who are they going to play? Where are they going to play from here? You got the winner of this game gets second in the district. They get to play, the lower seeds, and the loser goes to the playoffs and gets the 3rd seed. And like you said, Chapel Hill, big win last night over Brownsboro, and Brownsboro is chomping at the bit at this one to come back and redeem themselves just a little bit from that loss.
Did we mention it's windy?
It's a little bit windy. I just lost my pencil. And not only that, it is cold. It is 50, I believe 55 degrees here.
The NETsn trademark pitcher cam is back from the outfield.
Yes, we got that. We didn't last night, but we do it today.
But just be aware that it may move a little bit. So it's definitely windy out there in center field.
We got about a northwest wind at about 15 to 16 miles per hour, according to meteorologist Keith Whitman here.
Keith Whitman, it's your other job, huh? Okay.
I'm a jack of all trades, Brett.
Okay. Although I can just tell by the American flag making its noise out there.
Pretty
pretty
wild out there.
So we'll take it down the field, huh?
It's a beautiful field out here, Mike Carter Field here. About a 4,000-seat capacity from what I've read, and a good crowd still trickling in here. So right now they're doing the starting lineups, and I'm going to do that for you as well. The Vandals are the visiting team today. So the starting lineup for the Vandals, leading things off is Asher Hawkins, followed by Easton Hinch. Designated hitter is Colton Greer. Cleanup hitter is Landon Smith, followed by Ross Hendricks, then Andrew Flotter, Caleb Redding after that, Austin Stevenson in the 8th spot, and in the 9th spot is Grady Bates. In the field, on the mound for the Vandals, Austin Johnson is going to be the pitcher. Behind the plate, Austin Stevenson, Andrew Flotter at first, Easton Hinch at second, Ross Hendricks at shortstop, and Asher Hawkins at third. In the outfield, from left to right, Grady Bates, Landon Smith in center field, and Caleb Redding in right field. That's your Vandals. On to the Brownsboro Bears. Their team leadoff is number 9, Jackson Rogers, followed by Landon Hatton, and in the 3 spot is Jackson Epperson. In the cleanup, Cooper Shook, followed by number 7, Peyton Stevenson. Hudson Childers is there. Bryce Hudler after that one. In the 8th spot, Aiden Green. And the designated hitter for the Bears is Lincoln Burton. On the mound for the Bears, Ryan Patsett is there. Hudson Childers behind the plate. Then you got Bryce Hudler at first, Landon Hatton at second, Jackson Rogers at short, and Aiden Green at third. In the outfield from left to right, Jackson Epperson in left field, Peyton Stevenson in center field, and Cooper Shook in the right field spot. So we're going to go to the national anthem. We'll be right back. And, Brett, during the national anthem, if you looked out there at the players, their jerseys are just flopping in the wind. It is crazy windy out there, and that could cause an interesting development in the game today.
Yeah, especially if the ball's hit out in the outfield. You know, that much of a wind, it can put the ball in spots where you didn't expect it to be. So it's going to be definitely interesting.
So, once again, a good game here. While we got you, go ahead and like and subscribe. And call up your friends. Let them know it's going to be it is an early game. We're on right now. And you got about 3 minutes. Before we get started, Brett, as always, keys to the game. What you got, any?
Well, I think in any kind of game like this, they just played last night, so I don't know how many pitchers Brownsboro threw, but Van only threw a couple of pitchers. They went through a bunch on Monday night, but none of them threw significant. They were all available last night. So
yeah, the pitch count was probably, I think, lower than we thought on Monday night for the Vandals.
I think if you're Van, you've got everybody available. I think Bates is the only one that probably is not available today. So you got lots of pitchers. So I think the key is to use what you have in this game because they're not going to play again until the end of next week. So anybody that pitches today is going to be available to set up the playoff game.
Right.
So,
and it's kind of an all-in game here.
Yes, this is an important one. We talked about the seeding being very important. So, I think it's everybody on deck today.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got to do to get the win.
It's like we said, it's an all-in. You got to push it. You got to make sure that you get that 2-seed spot.
So my number 2 is fielding. We saw a lot of fielding errors this week for Van that gave them some problems. So they've got to nip those in the bud and take care of those. And 3, who can play in the wind the best?
Yes,
because the wind's going to be a factor today, whether they like it or not. So that's going to be, I mean, even with pitching, because it could do some things with the ball. So,
and I'm going to bring a 4th: minimize the errors. Minimize the errors for both teams. Asher Hawkins is going to lead things off, and he's going to watch the outside pitch go for a ball. And we have ball 1. So, and when I say errors, you know, we noticed over the last couple of games that the Vandals get a little struggle with the errors and the mental mistakes. So we're hoping that they can minimize those today. So 1-1 now the count for Hawkins. Here's the pitch from Patsett. And that's going to be high, says the umpire. Now, we have 4 umpires today, Brett. And normally we have 2, but they brought out the 4 today, so it's going to be interesting.
Hopefully they can get these calls correct because this is a huge game.
It is a big game. Inside, and that's going to be a 3-1 count now as Hawkins finds himself ahead. And this is a big batter's count here. And this is one of those where you swing away, Brett, as hard as you can for the fence. And there he goes. And fouled it back, and that's going to be a full count.
If anybody puts it over the fence today, they're going to have to get really good shot.
Goodness gracious, especially out in the center field. Brett and I were talking about that. We don't know quite how high that is in center, which it's 380 from here, but we don't know how high. That high ball, however, is going to be ball 4, and could have put Hawkins on first base and bring up Easton Hinch. And Hinch has actually moved up a few spots. He was, I believe, in the 4 or 5 spot last night. So he's moved up. Big batter for the Vandals, batting .274. 16 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 3 triples on the regular season. That's going to be inside for a ball, so ball 1. He steps in. Here comes the pitch by Patsett. And the runner goes, and it's off of Childer's glove. And so no play at second. And the errors have already started to come into play here.
Yeah, we talked about it's big.
And we're at a time of the season, Brett, where errors should be few and far between, really.
Yeah, you shouldn't have as many as you've had the last few games.
And really these aren't errors of that they don't know what they're doing. It's mental mistakes, getting too far ahead of themselves and not going back to fundamentals. That's going to be in there for a strike, says Mr. Umpire. And it's going to be 2 balls and 1 strike now. So you got a runner on second. 2-1 the count now to Hinch. And that's going to be fouled back out of play. And that evens the count at 2. So a big pitch here. And we'll see what Haltom calls up for Hinch. Pats it.
Ooh.
Brings it high over the head, way inside, and now we got a full count. Time is called by Childers as he heads out.
We're going to talk about this pitch as being a big 3-2 here.
And wanted to calm his pitcher down. He's had a lot of inside and high pitches, and what you don't want to do here is force something, Brett, and cause it to be a pass ball, cause it to be behind, even hit the batter, or do something that's going to be a pass ball and cause your runner on second to get to that 90 feet away from home plate there.
And you've seen Brownsboro a few times. You've seen Patsett pitch?
I have not yet seen Patsett pitch.
Okay.
I have not. However, I know that Childers is a very good catcher and does not let a whole lot of stuff pass him.
Ooh.
That's in there for a strike and a strikeout, and Hinch didn't think that was correct and made a run to first thinking it was a walk, and now walks back to the dugout on a strikeout. Colton Greer, the designated hitter, now steps into the batter's box. And this umpire has a very strict little strike zone there. And here's the pitch that's going to be inside and low for ball 1. Yeah, he is there's not a lot of leeway with this umpire on his strike zone there, Brett.
Yeah, he's calling it tight.
But it's that type of game.
As long as they do it consistently the whole game, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, both sides, you got to call it both sides here. That's going to be hit up the middle. And a good slide catch by Rogers. Rogers down to first base. Caught by Hudler. And it's out number 1, but what that does is it advances the runner from second to third and puts a runner that much closer to home plate. And it'll bring Landon Smith. Landon Smith is the cleanup batter for the Vandals. Batting .326 with 25 RBIs. He's had 3 home runs this season, Brett.
Wow.
3 doubles and 3 triples.
I'll say if he hits it over this fence, he's got something special
But
today.
he does have, he's a little right-hander, and that right field fence is applicable for him. So, and sitting at, 327 over there in the right field corner. That's going to be high and hits him in the helmet.
Oh.
And it's going to be a hit by pitch as it hits the brim of his helmet. And so Smith doesn't go yard, but he does go to first base with a hit by pitch.
Well, Patsett's been kind of wild. I wouldn't say wild, but he's been throwing the ball inside. You almost hit.
He's guarding that. He's guarding that plate a lot. He wants. And one thing about the Vandal batters that we've noticed is they get close in. They crowd that plate a lot and force those pitchers to move on the outside.
They're not going to get.
And Patsett's not going to let him do that. He's bringing it in close. That's going to be foul balled back. And that was toward the Brownsboro dugout. But yeah, he's kind of pushing those players back a little bit. But it's not stopping Vandals from moving in, as you can see there, as Ross Hendricks is in, and 0-1 the count there. Here's the pitch outside. Ooh. He fishes for that one. And now behind 0-2 is Hendricks with runners at the corners. 2 outs, 2 on, and 2 strikes to Hendricks. No score here in the top of the first.
It's a big batter right here for Brownsboro.
And that's going to be a fly ball out of play for a foul. So the count remains 0-2.
I noticed you didn't park in the foul ball zone, Keith.
I didn't, and I saw that. Mike Carter Field here in the parking lot, they actually have sections or parking spaces that say foul ball area. That's a swing and a miss for a strikeout, and that'll end the top of the first. But, yeah, they have sections that are saying foul ball area, park at your own risk. Yeah. And I did not park at my own risk in those areas. So that's going to be the Vandals are going to leave 2 on, 1 at the corners, and nothing's going to come of the batter at third. So we're going to go on a break here. Today's game is brought to you by Azalea Orthopedics. You're watching NETsn live from Mike Carter Field. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back here at Mike Carter Field for the Vandal versus Bears.
It's a nice little crowd today.
It is, and they're still coming in, as kind of always. Of course, a 1 o'clock game on a Saturday. You got a lot of parents that had to go for little ones games this morning. Jackson Rogers, yeah, yours got canceled.
I canceled. The field was too wet, so
Jackson
kind of worked out.
Yeah, it did. Jackson Rogers takes the first pitch outside for a ball as Austin Johnson is on the mound. That's going to be hit down the left field line right past third base, but it's going to be foul for strikes, so 1-1 is the count. Rogers is one of about 15 seniors on this Brownsboro team.
Wow.
Brett, they have 15 seniors out of 19 total players on their team.
Wow, that's a pretty good percentage.
So
this is their year then. This is the year.
It is. They don't have a lot coming back. I'm not quite familiar with their JV squad, but that's going to be inside, much to the dismay of the Brownsboro fans. It was called the ball, so 3-1 is now the fans of the Vandals. That's a ball.
Ooh,
that one was called a strike. Ooh. Much to the dismay of the Brownsboro fans.
Is that a makeup call?
Might be. Because that one looked like a ball, and the other one, that one's going to go straight past Asher Hawkins down the left field line, and Grady Bates over there to grab it, but a base hit nonetheless for Jackson Rogers. And really quickly there, the Brownsboro Bears have a runner on first for Landon Hatton. So Johnson already in the stretch here, early in the bottom of the first. And Rogers, Brett, is a speedster himself, just like Hawkins is for the Vandals. That's going to be hit down. And they're getting their timing on Johnson here, as Rogers did that as well. They got a little early on him. And Johnson doesn't seem to have he has a little bit of the break on it, but the speed isn't quite there right yet. So they're working on that timing. Johnson checks over first and brings the pitch. That's going to be outside for a ball, and 1-1 now the count.
Oh, got quiet all of a sudden. They make them.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that they're not allowing. That's the second game I've seen where they're not allowing the dugout to chatter. which I guess these umpires have never seen a softball game.
Oh, man. Those girls are vicious.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if something specifically was said, but I didn't hear anything. But yeah, I don't know if they've watched the softball game recently. That's in there for a strike.
They must not have.
And I guess he saw something we didn't, but I didn't see anything on the outside corner there. But nonetheless, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Hatton, with a runner on first and nobody out. Here's the pitch. That's going to be down low, obviously a ball. So now the count even at 2. And Brett, it is cool out here. Got a lot of bundled up people.
Yeah, it's a winter.
Yeah, it's almost May. That's a hit, and that's going to go straight to Hendricks. And the 6-4-3 does not come, but they do get the lead runner out as Rogers heads back to the dugout, and Hatton gets on by fielder's choice.
Yeah, nice little fielder's choice. Good job for Van. Make sure you get that lead runner, like you said. And it was close on that first.
It was. And Epperson now up. But, yeah, it was a good –
I was checking it out here on that camera we got angle on first base.
That's a good angle right there.
It was close.
So now Hatton leads off from first, and the throw over, and not him.
Got him.
A good pickoff move by Johnson. And actually, if you saw that, Hatton made a move to second and then had to jump back, and that's what got him, that little flinch to second when Johnson turned. And so 2 outs now.
That was a big play.
And a big play by the Vandals gets 2 outs really quick now. And now Epperson,
Johnson's
who had a runner on, is now nobody on with 2 outs.
Yeah, his defense is helping him out.
Yeah. Johnson, yeah. Good little pickoff move there. That's going to be outside for a ball, so 1-0 now the count.
You get things like that done, and that's going to help your confidence throwing the ball across the plate.
And that's a foul tip. So that's going to be 1-1. And I have seen, here's the pitch by Johnson. I have seen, Brett, on the couple of games that I've watched, Brownsboro, I have seen a few of their players get picked off, over on first base.
Really aggressive on the base path?
They are, very aggressive. But they have the speed to do that. That's going to be inside. Ooh. And almost hit him.
He was pretty close to the plate there when he did that little spin.
Now he's backed out a little bit and in the middle of the batter's box. And that's going to be hit into center field. But it'll drop for a base hit. And Jackson Epperson now at first. And the Cooper Shook, the number 4 batter, the cleanup batter as they call it. As Epperson is almost caught.
Wow.
And they appealed down to first, so Shook check swung, and they appealed down to the first base umpire. The first base umpire called it a strike and then had to call a safe back there by Epperson over there on the throwdown. That's going to be a pass ball as the ball drops in front of home plate and bounces over the head of Childers. And Epperson gets to second base.
That's Stevenson there, Keith. Let me help you out.
I apologize. You're correct. Stevenson. And Epperson gets over to second base.
Well, you covered these teams so much that
I know.
all these
going back.
you just feel like they're all your teams.
Well, and actually, Stevenson is not the normal catcher for the Vandals. Wyatt Dale is the usual catcher.
He may be given since he
may be getting rest.
Night. Yeah. Is there a catcher limit too?
No.
I didn't know if there was in baseball because it's a tiresome squatting down.
It is.
It makes me tired watching it.
Right. And that one's a good pitch in there. Little breaking ball there. And it did fall down into the strike zone there. And so now it's 2-2.
Yeah, Dale's he's enjoying his. He's probably icing his knees last night. You know.
Oh, yeah. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Cooper Shook.
Oh, he's fired up, too. Johnson's fired up.
He is. He is. Well, and he should be.
Yeah.
He should be. He got the first pitch. First batter got on base. And then he got another one. The leadoff runner was out, but he got another one on a fielder's choice on base. And then a pickoff move with the second out. Got another base hit, but then he got a strikeout. So not a bad look there for Austin Johnson in his first pitching outing here for the day.
Good first inning. I think it's a tell that this is going to be a back-and-forth game all day long.
I think it is. I think it is. So, but hey, don't go anywhere, guys. Call anybody you know that may want to watch a good baseball game because, hey, we got one here at Mike Carter Field. We'll be right back. Like and subscribe. You're watching NETsn. We'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back at the top of the second. Andrew Flotter is, going to step in and get things started. Pats it, brings the pitch, and it's going to be hit, but it's going to go foul as Haltom catches it over there in the coach's box.
Nice job there. Eh?
Good job, Coach.
Still got a little fielding left in him.
So 0-1 now the count.
I think he'd preferably not be filling his players' balls. That he'd prefer them to be hit out in the field.
Right.
But nonetheless.
Beggars can't be choosers sometimes.
Yeah.
That one's going to be fouled straight back.
Flotter's coming out swinging this a bat here.
Well, and one thing about both these teams, and I think you probably noticed it last night, is they're not afraid to swing the bats.
No.
They're you hope you don't get anywhere. You don't get runs if you don't swing the bat.
They're not sitting there waiting for trying to walk.
Right. That's going to be high and outside for a ball. So 1-2 now.
But still smart with those kind of pitches.
Right. You don't want to chase that.
You had to get a step ladder to get that one. That was kind of pretty high.
Here's a pitch, and that's going to be outside. Childers tries to frame that one, but, when you have to go get it like that, you can't bring your arm all the way. Too much time. 2-2 now the count. Pats it with the pitch. And that's going to be out into right field, and looks like it's going to go. And they didn't call each other, but Cooper Shook gets there. And almost a collision by Landon Hatton, the second baseman, hitting into Cooper Shook. But it didn't look or didn't hear any call off.
No.
But Shook good with the concentration to make that catch. And one out now for the Vandals. As now, Caleb Redding.
So that ball was kind of in a no man's land type area.
Yeah, it was in that little circle area where it could be the second baseman's, it could be the first baseman's, and it could be the right fielder. So you don't really know. It was going to be a fair ball either way.
Yeah.
If it dropped, so you weren't. Somebody's got to make a play, but it's a question. Somebody's got to call it on those because it is a collision territory.
Yeah.
And that was inside for a ball, so 2-0 to Redding. And he's sitting pretty right here. Here's a pitch. And umpire says that's going to hit the corner. I thought it looked a little low below the knees, but not my call.
That could be your next
job.
job.
So 2-1. Heck no, I will never. I umpired Little League, and I swore to myself I would never do it. Swing and a miss by Redding, so now 2-2 the count. Yeah, I don't wish that. That and reffing basketball, you have to be a very, very strong person to do that.
Yeah.
Full count now as Redding Had a pitch inside there. He had to dodge out of the way. And here comes the pitch. That's a high ball for ball 4. And Redding will take his base. And it was kind of funny. I don't know if you saw that. Redding kind of got on his tiptoes on that one, and not really sure why he did that. It would have been better to kind of stay low.
Was he thinking about trying to swing
I guess he wanted to see what he could do there, but no good.
It was a good job of not swinging there and taking the base.
Yes. In there for a strike. And now with a runner on first, Stevenson is 0-1 with 1 out. And that one's in there for a strike, says the umpire.
Childers framed it. He was waiting for the umpire to call it.
And the throw over, not in time. As Redding gets back. And that one's going to be called a ball. I think the fans felt that was going to be a strike.
They liked it. They said nice pitch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was nice pitches and they thought it was going to be supposed to be a strike or just nice pitch in general. I'm not sure.
And pats it.
I thought it was a little outside myself.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was actually a low.
Yeah.
And Redding off of first, and that's going to be a high pitch. And now the count goes even at 2. So Stevenson found himself down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and now finds it even at 2. And the runner goes, and that's going to be a hit and run, but it goes back for a foul. So Redding has to get all the way back to first and get set. And we'll go again as the count remains 2-2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be hit over to third base. Scooped up by Green. Green throws over. Not in time. And the 5-4-3 double play did not happen, but the lead runner does get there, and the fielder's choice happening kind of like we did last night, a little deja vu happening.
Yeah, had the fielder's choice in the last inning. We'll see if he gets picked off.
Right. And so, yeah, if that happens. So Grady Bates now will step up. He was the pitcher last night for the Vandals and did a good job.
I think her helps. Is she paying attention or is she on her phone?
I don't know what she's doing. She's doing something. But we got to be nice to her. Yeah, we got to be nice to her. She's going to go get us some stuff at the concession stand here in a bit. So.
Okay. Hey, I asked her earlier and she said no.
All right, so Bates is up, and he'll hit that one over to second base. And Hatton with it shoots over to Hudler. And so that's going to be out number 3. So nothing comes from the base runner there. So we still have 0-0 score heading to the bottom of the second. So, hey, go ahead, guys, and like and subscribe and chat with us a little bit. The chat is open. We'd love to hear from you.
It's been quiet so far.
Yeah, let us know where. I know it's earlier in the day. We usually do nighttime games. So, and it is a Saturday. So if you're just waking up, why are you just now waking up? It's a question. But if you are just now waking up, go ahead and chat with us. But like and subscribe first and let us know what you're thinking, where you're watching from. But, hey, today's game is brought to you by Azalea Orthopedics. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And the first pitch, first hit by Peyton Stevenson. And a base hit starts off the bottom of the second with a base runner. Now number 1, Hudson Childers. Childers. I might be saying that wrong. I apologize if I have been. I've been calling him Childers. Either way, he's up to bat, and Stevenson got a base hit and is over at first. And steps in. Looking over at first, and here's the pitch. Little inside by Johnson. And 1-0 the count. Johnson checking over at first. Making sure everything's good over there. Squares around for a bunt. Here's Childers. But Johnson heads over at first, trying to keep Stevenson where he is. Childers steps back in. Johnson gets the look, and the bunt goes straight up, and fielder's choice over to first. Good job by Johnson to go over to first, but the runner does advance, and the sacrifice bunt works to perfection. As Bryce Hudler now up to plate, and we got a time on the field. And the umpire kind of goes out and tells him it's time to play.
He didn't give him much time, did he?
No, he didn't.
So let's go.
Well, we don't want to be here forever today. I mean, I don't think umpires ever want to be out forever on the field, but
yeah.
Here's the pitch, and outside and low for ball 1. Again, we want to thank you for watching, and like and subscribe so you can continue to watch good Northeast Texas sports here on NETsn. That's a pitch, but it's going to be low. And Hudler kind of wanted that one. He took the bat off the shoulder, but didn't commit.
And chat with us too. We hadn't had anybody chat.
Yeah, we're kind of used to people chatting with us, and of course this is the same as when I'm by myself. So that's going to be a high fly ball into foul territory.
Nice
but
catch.
Grady Bates kind of overruns the ball. Pardon me, overruns the ball in foul territory, but comes back and grabs it for out number 2. And that will bring Aiden Green now to the plate.
Kind of wrapping up our 22-23 coverage season. We got some playoff action coming up hopefully here. But we got lots of things coming up for the 23-24 year. Azalea is going to be back as our title sponsor, and we're looking for other sponsors too, Keith. So anybody out there that's wanting to sponsor our broadcast and help grow this network, we're trying to get as many teams, as many towns and sports covered as possible. So
we'd love to have anybody that would like to do that. So 1-1 now the count as a swing and a miss by Green happens. And we do a lot more than just baseball. We got football, we got basketball, and I believe we're going to do a little volleyball next season.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Johnson steps off and makes sure that Stevenson is where he needs to be. Johnson takes a look and brings it home. And a half swing, they're going to check down at first, and the first place umpire says no, he did not go.
That's a difference too. They're able to do that,
right? Because
you
usually
have 2 umpires. You got is in the middle.
Yeah, you have 2 umpires. When you have a runner on second, he's in the middle. Now, if there's nobody on, he'd be over at first and be able to do that. But with a runner on second, that's not a normal thing to have. So usually the plate umpire has to make that call. 3-1 now the count.
Got that extra appeal.
Yeah. So Green's ahead. This is what we call the swing away. But with 2 outs, you got to be careful because you don't want to swing into an out. That's going to be inside for ball 4. And honestly, Brett, that has been called a couple of times as a strike. So
that was close.
So that's a close
All right,
close call. So Lincoln Burton, the designated hitter, is next up. Now we have 2 runners on, Brett.
Okay, so
but 2 outs.
What we talked about earlier, short leashes for pitchers today. So
right.
how long? I mean, he's struggling a little bit this inning. Was he let him work it out? I guess he's got 2 outs here. So,
and you know, Holtom's over there looking to see what he can do, trying to figure it out. And what you don't want to do here is give up a base hit that scores a run and go behind early.
Nope.
But that'll catch the outside corner.
Well, that's the way to start the batter. You fire 2 strikes in, and now you got a couple of pitches to play with here. We'll see if Johnson throws
something that breaks over
little
and
breaking pitch or something here.
The runner almost goes. I thought he was going to go. That was a fish pitch. Trying to see if he wants to go fishing on that one.
I like it. I like the pitch.
Well, you got a little bit of room to play there. You don't have any balls, so he was throwing to, knew it wasn't going to hurt. But that one, great pitch. That one dropped off the table. Little bit of a breaking ball there. And Johnson pitches himself out of trouble there with 2 on.
No damage.
And no damage done as the score remains at 0 through 2. So, Brett, we got a good one here at Mike Carter Field, and it is everything that we thought it would be for these 2 teams because neither one of them are going to give it up. They got something going on.
Pitchers duel today, and it's been nothing but some spectacular action here.
So
Mike Carter Field, they got nice facilities for a playoff type atmosphere.
Oh yeah. Well, and they played college, Junior College World Series here. At this facility, so it is a very nice facility. These players get to come and play on. And Brownsboro actually played here last night, so they got to do that at here. So
they just slept in the dugout. Came back.
Yeah, I think they were in their. When I got here this morning, they were in their bus out there sleeping, I believe. But no, it's a great place to be, and a lot of fans are showing up. Even though it is nice and cool out here, there is no rain, so that's good. Even though, like tonight, like we were last night, we were under a little pavilion. We still got a little rain on us last night.
This is more probably protecting us from a lot of that wind out there right now than anything else.
And that wind is still blowing. Not as hard, but it's there.
Oh, okay. They take cards. It's good to know.
Awesome. That's good to know. So they're taking cards at the concession stand. So we're back at the top of the lineup for the Vandals as Asher Hawkins makes his way. And that's going to be a swing into foul territory, and it's going to be out of play. So it'll be strike 1.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make myself a concession run now.
Right. I may have to make another one.
Smelling that food right
Bad
here.
thing is I'm talking, I can't crunch those nachos I got in front of me. So 1-1 now the count.
It's like they're teasing you.
Yeah. It happens. Here's the pitch by Patsett. And that's going to be a hit in the outfield left. And a base hit.
It's a nice hit there by Hawkins.
So Hawkins, yeah.
He just drove that out there to left center field.
Hawkins on base for the second time this game. He walked in the first inning. Now in the third, he got a base hit. Easton Hinch now steps up. He struck out in the first.
He does a good job of getting on. He did last night as well. He got on several times.
And I think that's why they moved him up. He's got that ability, to get on base. And he's going to bunt, but he misses. And they're going to call it a foul ball, actually.
Yeah.
In there for a strike. So we're going to try this again here. As Hawkins over there at first, and another bunt attempt goes nowhere by Hinch, and now he's in the hole there, 0-2, and can't bunt.
Well,
I mean, we have seen it happen before.
You can.
Where you bunt on third, or
just,
bunt on strike 2. But if you bunt and you go foul, you strike out.
Yeah.
So you can't. It is
you don't
frowned upon.
Yeah,
how's that?
You don't normally see it.
And that's swung and a miss. So strikeout number 2 for Easton Hinch, and that brings the first out of the inning, and it'll put the designated hitter Colton Greer to the plate. And it's so funny to watch these players come up, and they kind of move their feet across the turf there like it's dirt, mm-hmm. like they're making a little hole there. That's going to bounce to the outside, but a good job by Childers to keep it in front and not allow Hawkins to advance. So 1-0. Here's the pitch. Good hit, but that's going to go straight to Green. Green gets it over, but not in time, and a good slide by Hawkins, and he gets the out there as the 5-4 hit gets the lead runner on the fielder's choice. So 2 down as Landon Smith steps up to the plate. And Smith was hit by a pitch last, so he really didn't get a chance to do anything. We got some, got a baseball looks like is on field in left field, so time was called by the umpire.
I see some kids down there might have, Owen just got rid of it there.
It was a wiffle ball.
Oh.
Yeah, he
he's lucky he's able to get off the field with all that wind.
That was a good throw there by Epperson, which is probably why he's the left fielder. He's got a good arm over there. If you can throw a wiffle ball that far in this wind, that's going to be hit. And back to Green. Green across the field.
Nice.
And in time for out number 3. Good job by Aiden Green to get that third out. So once again, the Vandals leave runners on base and no runs come across. And we'll head to the bottom of the third. No score here at Mike Carter Field. You're watching NETsn, brought to you by Azalea Orthopedics. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mike Carter Field. As we're at the bottom of the third, and we're at the top of the lineup for the Bears as Jackson Rogers steps in. They're going to peel down to first on that as he check swung, but no go, says the umpire. And so that's going to be ball 1 for Rogers. And here's the pitch by Johnson. It's going to be inside for a ball. So Rogers is up 2 balls and no strikes here. And here's a pitch. That's going to bounce in front. So Johnson having a little trouble here in the bottom of the third. Little control issue. He's a good pitcher, so we know he can get out of it, but he's got to get his mind set. Here's a pitch as Rogers breaks down in a bunt formation there, in a bunt square there. So 3-1, and it's my hit-away pitch here. Let's see if he does it. And he does, right up the middle, right past Johnson. But Hendricks is there and makes the throw over to first. And for out number 1. So good job by Hendricks to back it up. And Landon Hatton is stepping in. Landon Hatton had a fielder's choice back in the first inning as he hit over to shortstop, and they got the lead runner in Rogers. That's going to be a fly ball out of play, and the sun is peeking its head out and getting a good little picture there on the field. That might warm a little bit up here. Johnson looks in. Here's a pitch. That's going to be outside, but off the corner, says the umpire. So 0-2 now the count. Here's a pitch. And once again off the corner, and that's strike 3, much to the dismay of Landon Hatton, and he strikes out for out number 2. So now Jackson Epperson up next, and he had a base hit back in the first. The temperature's warmed up a little bit. It was 55 at game time. Now it's 59 here in the bottom of the third. That's going to be a little bit farther outside than normal there. And it's ball 1. 1-0 the count. Wind now blowing straight. And we got a shift going on as it looks as though Easton Hinch heads out to right field in a high fly ball. And Hinch comes in. So that was an interesting play there put on by the Vandals as Hinch goes out and makes it 4 outfielders as Caleb Redding moved over into right center, and Hinch moved into far right and was actually there. And Epperson goes down with a fly out. So 3 up, 3 down, go the Bears. And we're through 3 with no score here at Mike Carter Field. You're watching NETsn live from Mike Carter. Hey, go ahead and like and subscribe, and don't go anywhere. Tell your friends to watch us. We'll be right back. Now we're in the bottom of the third inning. Ross Hendricks makes a pop fly out of play. And that that loud noise was the ball hitting on top. Scared a couple of the fans. It scared me. That was not my scream, however. Excuse me, we're at the top of the fourth. I apologize. I was looking at the wrong thing. Trying to do 2 or 3 things at once. Bret is at the concession stand trying to get some food there. We got here early and had to set up, so we kind of weren't able to get lunch here. We do it all for you. And also go ahead and chat with us. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're watching and who you're rooting for. Here's the pitch, and a good hit out of the left field. It's going back, gone over the left field wall. Home run, Ross Hendricks. That was out of here right off the bat. And just like that, the Vandals are on the board. So after a smash hit home run by Ross Hendricks, Andrew Flotter now gets to follow. And he hits a little foul ball, says the umpire, as it went down. And I think he's saying it went straight down and may have hit the plate. So that's going to be a foul ball, so strike one. And Bret is back. And Bret, you missed the home run, man.
Really?
Yes, sir. And Ross Hendricks hit a home run over the left field wall.
Wow.
Straight line shot.
Well, it was a bad overall experience.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't have my wallet with me, I figured out, and then they did Apple Pay. Oh, yeah, we take that, and I got my order on, and then it didn't work.
Sorry to hear that, man.
So I guess I won't be eating.
And it's a high fly ball out of play. This one won't scare the fans this time. Oh, we had a ball that hit the top up here and scared some of the fans.
And then I missed a home run on top of that. Man,
Yep.
That's just a bad.
And we don't have instant replay. Otherwise, I would show it to you. I apologize for that.
But you can go back and watch it, I guess.
Yeah, you can go back and watch it with NETsn. And that's going to be a swing and a miss and strike three for Flotter. And that'll put Caleb Redding into the batter's box. He walked in the second at his first at bat.
Like they may not score any more runs. That's probably the only
Don't put that out in the universe. Here's the pitch. That's going to go out of play on the right field side. And the wind picking up again. Got good wind gusts here.
Yeah.
From the west. And here's the pitch. And that's going to catch the outside corner, says the Mr. Umpire.
Ooh.
And Redding kind of having a little conversation with the umpire, which is usually not a good look. And here's the pitch. That's going to go down the third base line. Hayden Green picks it up and throws it over to first as Flotter gets the catch. Not Flotter, excuse me, Bryce Hudler. Flotter just struck out. Hudler got that one. And that's going to be out number two. And Austin Stevenson is going to step in. And see what can happen. That one is in there for a strike. And Bret, up until that home run there by Hendricks, Patsett had a no-hitter going. That's going to be hit over to Hatton. Hatton is going to throw over to first, and it's going to be out number three. But, yeah, up until that home run, Bret, had a no-hitter going by Patsett.
If you're going to break up the no-hitter, I guess that's the way to do it.
That's going to be how you do it. So this inning breaks the no-score going as the Vandals take the lead in the top of the fourth with a Ross Hendricks home run over there at the 3:27 mark in the left field fence. So 1-0 lead. 1-0 is the score as the Vandals lead. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Like and subscribe. Today's game brought to you by Azalea Orthopedics.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we're back to the bottom of the fourth here at Mike Carter Field. Cooper Shook is going to lead things off, and he'll swing and a miss for a strike.
All right, so I guess we're going to have to call out the contest. Who's watching the game from the farthest away today?
Yep.
Let us know where you're watching, who you're watching, and what team you're rooting for.
Are we
today.
still not getting any chat?
Not a single chat all game.
Oh, man,
Keith.
that's hurtful.
And this is a very good game. I don't know.
Well, but it is Saturday. You know, people are doing family things.
They're probably
They're
watching
just,
that draft.
What kind of draft? What draft? Is there a draft? I mean, it is kind of cool out here. There's wind blowing. I can guess there's a draft going, but that's going to be foul. Oh, that's fouled off from the handle.
Ouch.
That kind of hurt me. And Johnson still doing pretty good.
Yeah, only giving up 3 hits so far, so.
And that's going to be hit by a pitch.
Right to the helmet.
Lost control.
Ooh.
And that was obviously not on purpose.
No, it wasn't a fastball. It was some
Little
kind
breaking
of
ball. It was an attempt for a breaking ball.
And it didn't break. Just lost it high there.
So Cooper Shook is a hit by pitch, and he'll head to first base. And Peyton Stevenson, who got a base hit back in the second inning, will step in with a runner on first and nobody out. Johnson brings it home, and a good pitch. That's going to be over to Asher Hawkins, who makes the fielder's choice and goes ahead and throws over to first to get the out. And that was a good play by Hawkins. There was no way he was going to get across his body so far infield to get the runner over at second, especially with the speed of Cooper Shook.
Yeah, take your out. Move on for the next play.
And Hudson Childers is going to be at the plate. Yeah, Hawkins was about halfway to home plate when he caught that ball. And there's just, I mean, he's an athlete, but wouldn't have been able to do that one. And that one apparently catches the outside corner. And I'm not seeing it. He's been calling that a lot. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see what he sees, but I'm almost right behind the plate.
I thought it was closer to the batter's box.
It looked like it was in the middle of the left-hander's batter's box. So this umpire is seeing, and he's not even behind the plate. He's off to the left where I am. So I don't even know what I don't know what he's seeing. But apparently he's seeing strikes. I don't know if he's closing his eyes or what he's doing, but he's seeing something. But no balls and 2 strikes. And it should be 1-1, but it's 0-2. And Johnson is going to make the pitch, and that's in the same spot as the first pitch, but that one's a ball and the first one was a strike. Yeah. So 1-2. And I'm normally pro, these guys, but that one was just – and he's made 3 or 4 of those for both teams. So it's consistently wrong, but it's consistent. And that's in the same spot, but it's going to be ball.
That time it's a ball.
And 2-2.
Wow.
Not as bad as the umpire that was at the fan game last week. I'll tell you that one.
Was it the same 2 teams?
It is, but it's not the same guy. It's going to be a pop fly. That's going to be in foul territory, but playable. And Asher Hawkins is going to call everybody off and make the play for the second out. And Childers will go have a seat. And Bryce Hudler will step in to the batter's box, and he's going to be in that left-handed batter's box, so we'll see if he gets hit by that strike pitch that the umpire likes to call.
Yeah, they had trouble couldn't find a camera angle for that one. It was like the
yeah, we were
dead
in
spot.
no man's land there, the dead zone over there. We try to find all the angles that we can, but sometimes we just miss it. We're limited.
Yeah, we're one camera short. We got a camera down. Hopefully to have that back up replaced
soon. Yeah, by the first playoff game we can get next. It'll be next weekend. They won't be playing games during the week next week. We got state testing going on, and that's in there for a strike. 0-2.
Brownsboro is not liking the calls here.
Yeah, I don't think either side are liking calls for either batters when they're at bat. Definitely definitely putting himself in the game here. The home plate umpire is. That's going to bounce in front.
No, it's interesting.
1 and 2.
You talked about where he was standing. Now he's opposite, so he's standing on the inside corner.
Yes.
Of whatever the batter side is.
And when I umped, I didn't like doing that. I knew umpires that did it. I stood right behind because you can get a better feel. That's going to bounce and get past, and the runner's going to go over to third, and now puts himself 90 feet away from a run to tie the game.
Well, if you're Johnson right here, Keith, you don't worry about that runner.
No.
You get this guy at the plate, and it doesn't matter.
And I think that's what Stevenson is going to go tell Johnson to say, look, settle down, get this guy out,
now,
let's go to the dugout and have a drink, get that Gatorade.
As long as he's doesn't throw any kind of wild pitches.
Well, and if I were the catcher, I'd say, hey, look, put it over the plate, let him hit it, let your guys behind you make the out. But he didn't do that. He hit it high in ball 3. So now you got to have it somewhere that's hittable.
Yeah,
because you got the guys behind you that can play. That's what you're not alone out there on the mound, even though it feels like it. That's going to be fouled back. But I think sometimes pitchers forget that. Is you're up there, you think you have to have the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're pitching, and you have to take control. And yes, at some way, yes, but you forget you have those 8 other guys behind you, or those 7 other guys behind you that help you out. And that's going to be outside for ball. So you have runners at the corners as Hudler makes his way. And now Aiden Green will step in.
You're still worrying about the batter.
And so now the catcher's going to go out, and the possibility that they may do a pitch out here to maybe catch the runner. Nope, they're going to go and hit Hawkins over to first, and they're going to get the out there. So luckily for the Vandals, and I don't think it was luck, but Johnson finally gets it over the plate where the guy hits it, and what happens? His players help him out.
He lets his guys behind him take care of him and gets out of the inning with no runs.
No harm, no foul there, but kind of made the blood pressure probably go up there in the dugout for his coaches. And the Vandals, after 4, retain the lead there after their home run there in the top of the 4th. And they lead 1-0 here. We're on to the 5th we go. And, we're moving on quite swiftly here. So, but we're going to take just a short break here and let you know who we're sponsored by, and that would be Azalea Orthopedics. Don't go anywhere. Like and subscribe. We'll be right back to Mike Carter Field.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Grady Bates watches that first one go by for a strike. And another one that goes by almost in the same spot, but that one gets called a ball. So 1-1 now the count. And that's outside, and Bates gets a hold of it out to left field, but Jackson Epperson takes about one, maybe 2 steps to his left and makes the catch for out number 1. And now to the top of the lineup as Asher Hawkins steps in. And pats it. Only allowed 2 hits. One of those, though, was a home run. That's going to be outside for a ball.
His hitters haven't helped him today.
No, they tried.
neither pitcher's really got much help.
Now they appealed over to that. They got as Hawkins check swung, but the first base umpire says no. That one on the outside corner from the left-hand batter's box for strike, 1-1. Here's the pitch by Patsett. Swing and a miss for a strike, so 1-2 now. Patsett gets ready, and here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3 as Hawkins now strikes out as he has a walk, a base hit, and a strikeout. And Easton Hinch is stepping up, and Brett, he struck out the only 2 times he stepped up to the plate. So
sounds like he's due for
I think
hit.
he's looking for something, and rightfully so. That's going to go up the middle, but Patsett's there, and he just does a little shovel pass for out number 3. So quickly, 3 up, 3 down, go the Vandals. And we're down to the bottom of the 5th now as the Vandals lead 1-0 here at Mike Carter Field. What's up?
The umpire or the coaches over here.
Well, we got to, and I will say, I don't know if you saw, did you see, there's a little bit of a trip. I think the coach is taking exception to the fact that he thinks that the player cleated the first baseman, Hudler.
Okay.
He is saying that Easton Hinch, when he went by, cleated, which means he kicked out and hit Hudler in the leg with his cleats. He basically hit him in his cleats in the leg. And coach is hot. He is not a happy camper.
He didn't like that.
And I watched Hudler. He kind of tripped. I didn't see how he tripped, but he did turn and he looked at the player. And so, yeah, he is not a happy camper.
Yeah, maybe a lot of built-up anger on the way the game has been called behind the plate, too.
And he is a very passionate coach. I will tell you that. He gets these kids fired up, and he gets fired up himself. He's a good coach, and he does a good job, but he is loud and gets boisterous over there in the dugout. I've heard him some, so he does a good job for Brownsboro. So Burton leads things off and watches that one go by for a ball. That's a fly ball back. 1-1 now the count. And here's the pitch. That one's on the outside. Now 2-1.
I know if you'd have told me that a home run would be the only run in this game, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Right?
This field plays so deep.
And Hendricks, let's see, that was his first home run of the season for Hendricks.
It's a good time to have it.
If you're going to have it, it's one in a seed game to see who you're going to be playing. Yes, that is a good thing to have. So full count to Burton. And a big pitch here. Outside, ball 4, and Burton will take his base. So to the top of the lineup goes the Bears. Jackson Rogers now will step in. And this is a big at-bat as we creep closer and closer to those final outs of the ball game.
Like, how long do you leave your starter out there, too? Because it's only a one-run game. You kind of possibly bring in a fresh arm here.
Well, and you got to be careful doing that, too, because sometimes your fresh arms are kind of jinx you a little bit.
If you got a
closer, dance with the one who brung you, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. And that puts 2. And now Haltom, and you're right, you kind of, and he had the same mentality you have, I think. And he's going to go out there and have a conversation.
If you got somebody that can come in, it's a closer type guy.
Right.
It might be the time to do it.
And he's got a few he can choose from, that can come in. And I'm not sure if he's going to bring in, I believe it's Justice. Does he have Justice? Or is that another? Landon Justice is a good little arm, senior. Brought him in the other night. And so they're going to have a good little conversation there and see what's going on. And see what if he wants to make that pitch change, the umpire's going to go out there and tell him to hurry up.
It may not be. He may just be kind of trying to settle him down.
I think that's what he's going to do. Nope, we're going to have a pitching change.
He's going to come out. So that'll be
sure
it
enough.
for Johnson.
So that'll be it for Johnson. Only 3 hits allowed, no runs allowed.
And so they're changing around some lineup. I see 17 jetting out there into right field, Keith. So we're going to have to try to figure out these changes here.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
We got Backert going out to, looks like to right field.
And that is one I have not seen tonight. Backert is usually one of your starters. He is a good player. So Gabriel Backert
coming into pitch looks like
Backert's a 326 hitter, so he hasn't been in, and that may be by design.
Landon Smith is coming into pitch.
Okay.
So Backert's going in the outfield. That might slide over. It's going to slide Redding over to center field, it looks like, to take the place of Smith. Smith's going to come in and pitch, and Johnson will exit.
And Smith came in to pitch last night to finish the game up for Grady Bates, if you remember correctly.
Yes, he sure did.
But Gabe Backert, and I wondered about that. Two of the starters who usually are in is Wade, is
Dale the catcher.
Wyatt Dale, the catcher, and then Gabriel Backert. 2 big hitters on your team there.
Well, and we'll see how that changes the lineup. I'm assuming that you had a DH, so Johnson wasn't actually in the lineup. So we'll see if who came in. So Backert. We'll see if he actually comes into the batting order or not. He may not. If he comes in and
it's a possibility. Let's see. So you had Landon Smith move in. Austin Johnson was actually Colton Greer was in for Johnson.
Yes, the DH.
It was the DH there. So probably what will happen is
unless he has
Colton
somebody,
unless
he has a weaker batter that he wants to pull out and then use the DH for them,
or what he'll do is Backert Colton Greer will still be the DH for Backert, and Backert won't bat.
Yeah,
that will more be or he'll just switch those over and let Backert or let Backert hit for
somebody that he doesn't.
Greer.
Maybe it's a weaker batter he wants to replace. I guess we'll find out when they.
Well, he can't. He's going to have to do it with a DH. He can't.
He
won't
DH
be
for
able to
anybody.
replace.
Can he DH for anybody?
I don't know if you can take him out. I don't think he can do that. I don't think it's like a libero in that situation. I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong.
High school's a little different. I know, like in the pros, you can't do it that way, but I don't know how that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can remove him and then move him in a place like that. I think it's got to stay pretty consistent, but I could be wrong.
There's one thing.
That's a good thing on our chat.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out here shortly, and when they come back to the plate.
You have the chat on there.
Yeah, no one's.
No, it's not on there.
Huh? Yeah, it's right here. Nobody's there.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't see it. My bad. So anyway, we got a new pitcher, Landon Smith, who did a good job last night closing things out, and breaks down for a bunt.
Was that foul tipped or?
I'm not sure what. We got bases loaded here as Landon Hatton squares around for a bunt, trying to do a sacrifice bunt. There's nobody out, Brett.
He's trying to move the guys over to second and third. So
I'm sorry, we don't have bases loaded. I apologize. We have first and second. I think I saw the coach over there, the yellow shirt.
Well, he's close enough to the bag.
Yeah, he was right on the bag. I just looked up and glanced and saw the yellow shirt.
He's talking to the umpire again.
Yeah. Well, that would not surprise me. So Hatton breaks down and bunts it right over to third, and it goes waiting for the call. It was kind of a delayed call.
Yeah, I think
it goes foul, so the runners will have to reset. and now we're 0-2.
Good job by Hawkins to let it go foul there.
Yeah, he ran out. He was going to try to catch it. When he realized he couldn't catch it, he kind of backed off and leaned back, did a little matrix move there.
Well, it was a good move because I don't think if it goes fair there, there's not going to be any play. They're going to all be safe.
That's the only move you can make either. If you can't catch it, you let it drop and make sure and see if it goes foul. That's the only play you can really make. That's outside, and it's going to be a pass ball, so the runner are going to advance 90 feet anyway. And now you have 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. And this is where Van has found themselves in trouble the last 2 games, where they get into this position and then the mental mistakes and the errors cause them to get behind.
Yeah, right now you're probably, if it's a ground ball in the infield, you're probably going to first with it and just sacrificing a run to get it out at this point, because you don't have a force play.
Right.
So
depending on where it is in the field.
Yeah, we'll see.
And that one kind of buckled him, and it looked like a good pitch. But the umpire, you can never tell what he's going to call on that one, but he called that one a ball, so 2-2. And here comes the pitch. It's a good pitch. Ooh. And that one broke across and right in front.
That was a nasty one.
And Hatton goes down.
He buckled him there, Keith.
He really did. That was kind of very, yeah. He might want to check his knees on that, because he kind of wobbled a little bit. Jackson Epperson now steps in with 1 out and 2 on. Both runners in scoring position now. So in the old adage, base hit scores 2, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. And so with that, now the bases are loaded. And Brett, I'm going to tell you right now, that may be a better thing than not for the Vandals.
Yeah, you could turn 2 here in the inning.
Well, not only that, but you now have a force at any bag. So so you can throw home, and all the catcher has to do is touch home plate.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to tag or anything like that. So you can get a little blooper up the middle. They can't bunt, so you can't do a sacrifice because you can just throw it at any base. So it can be a good thing here depending on what happens.
Let's see.
That's a good pitch. It's going to be right off the outside corner for strike 1. So we're going to see what happens here. And the infield is back almost to the outfield line.
Ooh, nice snag there.
There's not really a dirt. No, sometimes, Brett, what we've seen is you have turf in the infield, and in the running lanes you have kind of what turf dirt looking, but not here. You have grass almost the whole way. That's inside, almost hit again by pitch. But Cooper Shook finds himself ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low. Oh, he calls it a strike.
Whoa.
And you could see what I thought. Woo. And I believe everybody else in the stadium thought that as well. So 2-2 now with that strike call.
Big pitch.
Big pitch for Landon Smith. That's going to be hit, a base hit, and possibly going to score 2 as Bates is going to throw it in. It's going to bounce off the glove of Hendricks and go into the dugout, which is going to be a ground rule to allow the runners to advance a base, which scores 2 runs.
Wow. Tough break there for Van, and Coach Haltham's
very tough break. So another run comes across on the error, because the throw in from Bates bounces off of Hendricks' glove and rolls into the dugout of the Bears and allows another run to come in. So Cooper Shook with the base hit.
And unfortunately, we hate to say it, but this is what we've seen from Van over the last week.
Yep. They get down, they get in trouble, and they make mental errors that cause problems. And that was a good pitch, but it's called a ball. So again, a runner at second and third, runners at second and third. 1 out. Peyton Stevenson now up at the plate. And the Bears on a little bit of a momentum swing there. That one's going to go foul out into right field, out of play for a strike. And the Bears can capitalize on this, Brett, if they do it correctly.
Yep.
And can get pretty good ahead here. They just got to focus, but the Vandals need to focus too, and they have trouble doing that. That's going to be hit into left center field, 4-base hit, and possibly more. 2 runs are going to come in. That one goes to the fence as Bates gets it, throws it in, and he goes for 3, and he's going to get it. As Peyton Stevenson gets a RBI triple. 2 runs come in off that hit. That one goes and splits the center field and left field, goes all the way to the 360 sign out there in left center field wall. And now the score is 4-1 as Brownsboro takes the lead, and Hudson Childers steps into the batter's box for the Bears.
And you got a couple of arms going to get warmed up for Van. So,
yeah, you got it. Well, you got one
got
because you got a catcher going out there, but it looks like 25.
It's going to be John Alexander.
Yep.
So
out to the bullpen is John Alexander for the Vandals. That's going to be hit and into the outfield again, into the left field, and another run comes in. So make that 5 runs for the Bears this inning as an RBI single for Hudson Childers.
And it's just been rough sledding here for Smith. He's just getting hit all over the park now.
Holtum's going to come out. And have a talk with him. And possibly, more than likely, they're going to have a pitching change here.
Still only got 1 out.
Yeah, nobody on. Well, 1 on now and 1 out. And Bryce Hudler, who Bryce has flown out and walked in this game so far, but, I mean, that hasn't been much because you got the other ones in this one. You, look at Peyton Stevenson, who just got that triple, did a base hit in the second and grounded out last inning. So, I mean, it's not anything that is standard in this ball game. So I believe we're going to have a pitching change, and we are, as number 25, John Alexander, has been called out of the bullpen. And while they're going to make the pitching change, we're going to take just a short break here, and we'll be right back. Today's game is brought to you by Azalea Orthopedics. We're here at Mike Carter Field. We'll be right back.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live,
Have you sustained a bone, joint, work, or sports injury? Problems with mobility or movement? Suffer with pain? Contact Azalea Orthopedics. Our specialists serve patients across East Texas. For proven, trusted medical care, you have a choice. Demand Azalea.
the Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at NETsn.live.
So John Alexander now on the mound for the Vandals and makes his first pitch. And it's going to be inside for a ball. And here's the pitch. And that's inside again. As Hudler finds himself 2 balls and no strikes. Alexander, big left-hander on the mound, hoping to come in and stop the bleeding. And the runner goes, and there's the throw, not in time, as Childers is there way ahead of the throw. And Brett, the Alexander, that was a good run. Alexander has a very slow windup there. And so Childers was halfway to second before the pitch was ever made.
Yeah, it's a good job by Brownsboro noticing that. They will take advantage of it.
So from the stretch, here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. So 4 pitches and 4 balls there and puts a runner at first. So we have
got another
potential runs for them, first and second now.
So got another player up in the bullpen. We got Colton Greer warming up in the bullpen for Van now.
And that's the designated hitter.
So he's just looking for someone to come in that can get out of
stop
this inning.
this.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled back for a strike to Aiden Green. Green walked, and I believe struck out his last time. The runner goes halfway. That's going to be snagged by Andrew Flutter, and a double play as Flutter snags it and then tags first base.
That's a good job
and
there.
a good heads-up play by Flutter as he catches and then tags as Hudler gets picked off there. But the damage has been done as the Bears go up by 4 here in the 5th inning. We've gone through 5, and the Bears now lead 5-1. A big inning in there for the Bears. Hey guys, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break live from Mike Carter Field here on your Saturday. We hope you're enjoying it. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So welcome back. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Bears. Cooper Shook has now taken the mound. And the Bears put 9 batters to the plate last inning. And first pitch hit by Colton Greer. And doesn't quite make it as Aiden Green Gets it over there in time for out number 1. Excuse me, that was, Colton Green. Aiden Green, I apologize, Colton Greer rounded out. So Landon Smith is now in. Watches that one go by for a strike. And Shook with the pitch. Down low for a ball. Smith hit by a pitch in the first inning, grounded out in the third inning. And hoping to get something started here with a 1-2 count and 1 out on the board here in the top of the 6th. Fly ball in field. Hudler calls everybody off and makes the catch for out number 2. And that will bring Ross Hendricks, who hit a home run back in the 4th inning to put Van on the board. Watches that one go by for a ball. Here's the next pitch by Shook, and that one's going to be called to strike on the corner. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Here's a pitch, and that's a strikeout. So Cooper Shook comes in and makes quick work of the Vandals. 3 up, 3 down with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. And we're on to now the bottom of the 6th, as that one was a quick one for the Vandals. So the Vandals are running out of outs as they only have potentially 3 more outs left. But we're heading to the bottom of the 6th here in Mike Carter Field. We'll be right back. You're watching NETsn.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And we are back. A new batter, Ty Vasquez, now to the plate for the Bears. So we'll see what happens here. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. As Alexander still on the mound for the Vandals. That's going to go straight to the second baseman. Little fumble, but Hinch gets it. Throws it over to first for out number 1. Back to to the top of the lineup as Jackson Rogers, hit by a pitch, last at bat. And do what he can to get back on base. The Bears lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. As Rogers swings and misses on that one. And Brett, it's winding down here for the Vandals. They have one at bat left potentially. Coming up here in the top of the 7th.
Doesn't look too solid because Cooper Shock,
Shook came in and shook him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And if Alexander could do some good here, Van can get in just, trailing by 4. That's not an insurmountable lead.
Ask Brownsboro.
But with Brookhill there. Or no, ask Brookhill.
Well, I say ask Brownsboro. They came back and won.
True.
So they know.
They know about it, yeah.
So they shouldn't take anything for granted here at this point.
Right.
Because they did it themselves.
And so, Van not out of it, but they've got to do better coming up because, like I said, they get out of this one with no harm. A good hit out in the right field. And over the head of Backert. And that's going to be a stand-up triple for Jackson Rogers. And he's going to go home. And the play at the plate is out.
Oh.
As Rogers tried, and the coach is going to come and guess, but he was out by a mile. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was out by a whole mile. He was hit on the head coming in. Coach may be appealing something else, but he was hit.
Can I point something out? I think he just likes to argue, Keith.
I don't know, but
he
may like. I mean, and he's fighting for his team, and I understand that. But yeah, I mean, Jackson, he came on home, saw something we didn't see, saw some fumbles, but
like the third base umpire's like, I'm tired of this guy. He's been mouthing to me the whole game. Go sit down.
But I mean, Jackson came home. Stevenson got him by a mile. Yeah. Hit him on the helmet. Got him there. So, I mean, coach is advocating for his team, and I'm all for that. And I don't know what he saw that we didn't, but he was out by a mile from what I saw here.
Yeah, he may need to check his glasses prescription if he didn't see that one.
So there. I mean, I'm not sure. He was behind, so he may have thought that he saw. But I mean, I'm telling you from here.
I think the coach sometimes has a jaded view of
and he's fighting for his team. So yeah. I get that. So 2 outs now.
And I do too. But at some point, you go out and peel your case and then go sit down.
Well, and not sure what the thought process is on sending your runner.
Yeah, that was probably he was probably making up for his bad decision of sending the runner, trying to argue for his guy there.
We don't want to. I mean, there was something there, but I'm not sure what. Because Hinch has a good arm over there at second.
Yeah.
And Jackson was told, and I don't know. I'm not sure if Coach sent him or not. Jackson was toying with him
because he stopped him at first. If you were going to send him, you would have sent him originally.
And he was, there was a strike there. And that was strike 3.
Dropped it.
So no runs came in, even though a stand-up triple.
A lot of action for no runs.
Right? A stand-up triple happened. And play at the plate was fantastically done by the Vandals as Easton Hinch threw him down. And a good job by Stevenson to make the play. So, Brett, here it is. We're done through 6. You're down by 4. Your last potential at bat here.
Who's up?
And the Vandals are up.
No, who's up?
Who's up batting? I believe, and I kind of lost track, but I actually believe it's going to be Calum. It's either going to be Flotter or Calum Redding.
Looks like Redding's in the on-deck circle.
And I believe it's Redding.
Yeah.
No, it's actually going to be Flotter. Flotter's coming up now.
Oh, there he is.
So it's going to be Andrew Flotter. He's going to come in.
Flotter and Redding. Okay.
And, Flotter has flown out and struck out. But, again, you can't base anything on that. But you got to do something here. It's your last stand. It's your last stand. Mm-hmm. And you got to make something happen. You got to get 4 runs to extend the game into the bottom of the 7th.
Yep.
Of course, the Bears are going to be coming out with Cooper Shook here again.
I'm saying
who's a great pitcher, a good closer.
I'm saying the key is to get some base runners on early in the inning before you get any outs. So it's very important for Van.
Well, you got Flutter, Redding, Stevenson, and Bates. Those are your floors. So Flutter, Redding, and Stevenson are guaranteed.
Well, and
then Bates, and then you're back at the top of the order. So then this is the back of the order.
And then do you have anybody you want to bring in to pinch hit as well?
Right.
You bring everybody out at this point.
So time called as Flutter steps out. And here's a big inning here for.
You got Dale over there. He's normally a starter. He hadn't played today.
True. That's going to be high over the head of Flutter.
He didn't like that.
Who didn't like that at all.
He's like, really? You're throwing in my head? Come on.
And a lot of frustration in the eyes of these Vandals, which could be good or to the detriment. Ooh. That's a swing and a miss for a strike. And let me tell you something. Shook has a heck of a fastball.
Yeah, he's humming.
He's got a lot of pop on that catcher's mitt when he comes in. That's another inside at the player, and Flutter not taking any exception to that on that one.
He didn't like it.
And the umpire on the outside, in the almost outside the left-hander's batter's box, gets it called a strike. And this is in one of those situations where the umpires usually are ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's a swing and a miss for strike three, and he really didn't have a choice, because when a call for a strike gets so far outside the strike zone like that, you have to swing at something that far outside the strike zone because there's not much you can do.
Protect your plate.
Well, because he's going to call a strike anyway, might as well go down swinging because that's what you're taught.
Yeah.
And it's that way for either side. It's just I've seen it all night or all day. And this umpire just likes it. A good hit down the third base line, but foul ball, says the third base umpire. And 0-1 now the count. So waiting on the ball as it actually bounced off the wall there and into the field of play. And we're ready to go. Here's Shook with the pitch. That's going to be down low for a ball. And 1-1 the count. Another one low. And 2 balls and 1 strike. That's going to be a good hit into left field, and the base hit. Oh, and the left fielder kind of slipped there as Epperson lost his footing.
Yeah, he's got a pretty nice sized knee brace on over there, Epperson in left field, so he's got to be careful.
So Caleb Redding gets on base. And
they're going to
got a pinch runner coming in. And it's going to be number 7, Caden Rowe. And he'll come out.
At this point, you got to, like I said, pull all your stops out.
Rowe's one of your speedster. He has 11 runs on the season. So he gets across. Excuse me. So Shook looks in and steps off the bag to make sure I think Rowe got a little speed on him. That's why Halton wants him over there. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be way outside for ball 1.
We'll see if he takes a chance on sending Rowe to second and get him in scoring position, or if he kind of.
And you got to be careful doing that, but you also got to be careful with the double play.
Yeah.
And Stevenson takes that one for a strike because you got a batter up there. He's low in the batting order. He doesn't play much at catcher. I mean, he's a good batter, and Stevenson's a 207 hitter. He does have 3 doubles, so there's a hit. It's going to be a base hit. And now we got a little something started here for the Vandals.
That's what they needed.
And they need a little momentum going as Grady Bates comes up now.
So every time they can get a hit off Passett, Shook. Then they're going to get a little bit more momentum, another substitute runner. They're going to bring in, looks like
number 9.
that's Dale, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Wyatt Dale. And he's got 23 runs under his belt.
So one catcher in for the other.
Right. Now, they just do that all the time for catchers, so that's not a –
Yeah.
because they're planning – that shows a little forward thinking there for Haltham, is saying we're going to make it to the bottom of the 7th here.
Exactly.
And they're trying to shake Cooper Shook. And that one was right down the pipe. I don't know what Bates was waiting on.
That was a good pitch there. Good pitch.
I mean, I know a lot of players and a lot of coaches say wait on the first pitch, but when it's something that pretty, you jump all over that thing and you just rock it. Here's the pitch. And that one was not the one you swing at. So now Bates finds himself behind in the count with a runner at first and second and one out. And the wind is picking up here. That's going to go straight up the middle. And it's going to be a 4-3 double play. And that's the ball game as the Brownsboro Bears have taken the second place in District 16 4A as the Vandals take third. So 16 4A matches up like this. The district champions are the Lindale Eagles. The Brownsboro Bears are number 2. Number 3, the Van Vandals, and the Chapel Hill Bulldogs are the number 4 team. All 4 of those teams are in the playoffs for the postseason here. And we're going to try to catch at least some of those games in the postseason for you as best we can.
I'm going to try to look up and see, Keith, what we have for the matchup district. See if we can get some official
who plays who type situation.
Yeah, I always kind of.
I kind of looked at that this morning, but it was probably a little bit too early for any decisions that had been made. But while he's looking that up, I do want to just congratulate all these teams and for what they've done so far and wish them good luck in the postseason. We're very honored and very proud to be able to bring you the games that we're able to bring you. And these teams have allowed us to do that. Again, we're not affiliated with any team specifically, but we do get permission from these teams to come and bring you these games. And we are thankful for all the teams that allow us to do that week in and week out during this first season for us to do these baseball games.
Yeah,
Brett, what you got?
Well, it looks like they haven't really updated much on here. I do see that Sulphur Springs looks like, and also Paris and Pittsburgh kind of at the bottom. We know Pleasant Grove is the number 1 seed. I do know that. That's who Chapel Hill will play.
Right.
We know Liberty Islo is the number 2 seed. So it looks like maybe North Lamar, maybe the 3rd seed. I did see them here today. So they were probably here to scout whoever won this game. So
and
possibly North Lamar and Brownsboro, and then Liberty Yallow and Van.
And talking to Lindale last night, he was saying that Paris and Pittsburgh were the 2 that they were looking at playing. So I think you're right. I think we're looking at Liberty Yallow or North Lamar. Let me look and see which one the scores of those games for them last night.
And I do know that talking to Van last night, Coach Haltham said that Liberty Yallow was the 2 seed.
Okay.
So I do know they're the 2 seed and Pleasant Grove is the 1. So, and you said, like you said, Paris and Pittsburgh are who Lindale was looking at.
Right.
So North Lamar most likely is that 3rd seed because I did see them here, so they're interested in this game. So
yeah. Now it looks like from what I can see here, Liberty Yallow did lose last night to Pleasant Grove.
Well, Pleasant Grove's the number 1 team.
Right.
They're ranked in the state.
Yeah,
I believe.
Liberty Yallow lost last night. So now I do not know what that means in their rankings. I don't know what their rank was prior. And what did you say the other one was? North Lamar?
Yeah, North Lamar, I believe, is going to be the 3rd spot. we'll know probably next week who we're going to be covering and where the games will be. It's possible. We know we have Thursday. Is it Thursday? We have Brook Hill softball.
I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't looked at that.
I've got that was what I was given. I don't have. It's going to be at home in Brook Hill.
It depends on the time for baseball. So we're going to do our best on those types of things, and we'll have all that up next week on our social media pages. On when we can do that. We're going to try to get some Brook Hill stuff in.
Yeah, I don't have a time for it. He just gave me the first home playoff game is Thursday for Brook Hill for softball. Baseball has to travel to Lubbock, I believe.
Yeah, they're going to Lubbock. Now, I know that Brook Hill baseball or softball lost yesterday or last night.
They played a warm-up game against Latexo.
Gotcha. And I don't think it was Latexo who they played last night. I do believe – I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look it up because I remember reading this morning something.
He told me they had a warm-up game against Latexo, but I don't – maybe
I know baseball played a game last night.
Oh, okay.
But –
she said you're wrong, by the way.
Oh, they played Frisco.
Frisco.
Yeah, it says here, Lady Guard softball falls on the road tonight to Frisco Legacy.
Oh, that's probably a private school in Dallas.
So
that must have been another warm-up game. They're probably just playing a few warm-up games to get ready.
So, but anyway,
we'll have that information for you. We're going to have something next week. We just don't quite know yet.
It's all going to be determined on timing and all that kind of good stuff, and where we can get to and all those things. But we're going to do our best to get where we can for you, for all of you, and we'll put everything up on our social media pages. But in order for you to know about these things, you have to like and subscribe.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter.
And follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of good stuff, and we'll be able to put that on there for you. So, Brett, anything else before we sign off here from Mike Carter Field?
Don't think so. I think that's, we got what we thought. It was going to be a really good game. It came down to the fielding and in some few errors, and just Brownsboro hit the ball in that one inning better than Van did the rest of the game. So it really just came down to that one inning. Van got the home run, but other than that, couldn't get anything else going.
Yep. Well, again, congratulations to these two teams. They are heading to the postseason. This was just to see where they were going to go. So we'll keep y'all notified of everything that goes on here and where we're going to be and what teams we're going to broadcast out. And so for Brett and Claire, we're all done here at Mike Carter Field. We want to thank you for watching here on this Saturday baseball, and we're going to be done here. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching NETsn. We'll see you next time.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live. The Northeast Texas Sports Network is